The question is, did you ever fly over commercial airports? That was the question from my wife. Yes. I think it was the 1982 or 83 Toronto Air Show. I was a participant, and we took an SR-71 there, and it was 3 crew members went. One crew flew it in, one crew flew the second day air show, and the third crew, which was myself, flew just a couple of flybys at the third day of the air show, and then actually flew the aircraft back to Beale Air Force Base. The Toronto Air Show is over the, Labor Day weekend? That's when they always have it. And it's a holiday weekend. So when I came back into the Sacramento area and was descending down to land at Beale, and we had a lot of fuel, and I asked the backseater, I said, you want to make an approach at Sac Metro? And he said, can we do that? And I said, why not?
You can do anything once.
Yeah, exactly. So we got over to approach control. I asked if Sac Metro was available for an approach, and they switched us over to Sac Metro, and they cleared us for an approach. So as we were coming down, and we had configured the airplane with the gear down, and we're about 2 miles out on final, they switched us over to tower, and I asked the tower, I said, would you like a flyby down the runway or down the ramp? And the guy said, down the ramp. And I said, okay. I sucked the gear up and I pushed the power up, and we started heading towards the ramp, towards the tower. And as we were approaching it, I rolled the plane up away from the tower and lit the afterburners. And we went around and made a pass, and the tower controller said, beautiful, beautiful, come back and do another one. And I said, I better not, I'm going to go to Beale. So we went back to Beale and we landed, and as I mentioned, holiday weekend. And Colonel Lonnie Liss was the director of flight operations, the DO.
Straight Lonnie.
Straight Lonnie. So he met us when we pulled in the hangar after we landed. As I mentioned, that was the normal procedure. And I thought, well, that's nice that he came out. As I came down the ladder from the aircraft, he looked at me, he said, Maury. And I said, yes, sir. He said, do we have any regulations that say we can't make approaches at Sacramento Airport? I said, no, sir. I want one on my desk at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, there's a continuation to this story. I retired in '87 and flew with United Airlines. I was a Boeing 767 co-pilot. And I think it was either the fall of '87 or the winter of '88, right after the new year. I was flying a 767 from Washington, D.C. to San Francisco. And an air traffic controller wanted to know if they could ride in the cockpit. And the captain of the plane